sorry. People keep bumping my video off. So, long story short, as we sit there, well, I'm working and I'm cleaning up all this horse manure and pig poop, and I'm filthy. It's all over me, and I'm begging for water. I was begging for water. This guy, Dan Gowen, doesn't do a thing but egg it on. You're a whore. You're going to burn in hell. Whore. I haven't even slept with anybody. I'm a virgin, for God's sakes. Yeah, I've been molested over and over and over. But sex, all penetration. No, it didn't happen. So how am I a whore? Guess what? Dan Gowen had already slept around. So we know that part is true on his part, and we know that part's true on Ron McCrae's part. But you don't know that with me, because at that time, I was a virgin. God is my witness. And just sit there as a grown man and egg it on after you've been raised normal and you have good parents in Maine. All you could do is come to Pennsylvania and help torture a little girl. He has a little girl now. She's probably 13 years old. And I know he thinks he's gotten away with that. He thinks that everybody has forgot that he literally sat there on another day talking to my father about basically selling me off to Dan Gowen at 13 for marriage. Because Ron didn't want me anymore. Because they were tired of beating me, and they just, I was full of the devil, and I needed to be with Dan Gowen. So Dan Gowen's over there, that makes you, as my eyes, that makes you a predator. Who has that discussion? I heard the discussion. I can tell you exactly where they were standing when this discussion happened. I feel bad for his wife. Does she even know that she married somebody that did that to a child? I'll post a picture of me. At that age, I'll show you. I got a picture sent to me the other day, and I have these little kittens I'm holding in my hand. I want you to look at that girl, and you tell me, Dan Gowen, look over and tell your daughter that you were right in everything you did. Talking about taking in a minor, a child, to be your wife. Then you go off and marry another woman, Tammy. And she's the only woman that had the guts, y'all. I owe Tammy Pileski everything in my life. Besides her and God, they saved my life. Tammy saved my life. She's the only one that called Child Protective Services and told them, hey, there's a little girl in that mount in a closet. Y'all need to go help her. And do you know, when I came back to Pennsylvania one time, there was a confession somebody had wrote about how they had molested all of us. And Ron McCrae wasn't going to give it to me because he didn't want the police in Johnstown and Somerset, Pennsylvania, knowing that he was just a slime bag creep. Because he said, you're not here to mess up my reputation. You take this to Virginia and you prosecute him in Virginia. This guy that wrote down how he molested over 100 kids all over the world. By the way, it could be one of your kids. I'm going to put the statement up. You'll get to see it. So all these guys, Dan Gowen, Charles Wright, Ron McCrae, they're all hanging out and they're all involved in this just torture of me. What was so bad about me? Was it because I wasn't ugly like you? Was it because I wasn't hateful like you? Was it because I wasn't evil like you? Was it because I was just an innocent little girl that you could beat up on and bully and torture and make her carry dog feces and horse feces and all that, and you could feel so big that day? Is that what it is? Did you tell your wife that when you married her? Like, hey, I want you to love me because I forced a little girl to carry feces out of a barn. And then me and her dad had a conversation about me marrying her. Yeah, as a child. There's so many witnesses. This stuff is unbelievable. They're not going to get away this time. Everybody, it's coming out. Thanks to all my amazing fans for peeling back the trash and making the world say, you do not get to blow this kid off. I know I'm not a kid anymore, but I was then. I deserve justice. I have till I'm 99 years old. These people need to be put away. People need to know. Daniel Gowen, go to his Facebook. He's, oh gosh, good Christian. Good Christian. Do you think that Christian man has ever called me and said, Boy, I'm sorry, man, for what I did. You know, if he had done that, do you know what would have happened? I would have forgave him, and we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. Because there's other people that have done me bad in that situation. I've not even spoke up. Some of those people came and said, man, I'm sorry, I messed up. Or I'm sorry, I said horrible things to you that were so uneducated. And I got educated and I realized, man, you're a bad person for being this way. This is just an innocent kid that was thrown into the streets by a bunch of coward men that wear beards and act like they're so above everybody else. But they will torture a little child. Do you know when they got through with me that day over all the feces in the barn? This is the second feces department, by the way. They have a thing for feces. Like, they really do. They're, like, twisted up there. I mean, who thinks to do that sick stuff? Dan Gowen and Bishop Ron McCrae and Cheryl McCrae. They just, like, love it. So, when they get through, I'm begging for water. And Ron goes over and yells, Stephen! And my brother. So Stephen comes running over. Thank God. He's like, take her over there and wash her off. She's dirty. And put her back in that room. Which is like a closet. Trust me, my closet is bigger than this. There's a bottle of milk that was old and curdled sitting on the staircase. Because they would bring me water in these bottles. Like glass bottles. And they would, when I was done, they sat outside the door. They would get curdled with milk. And they wouldn't dump them. Just like my toilet, the coffee can, like they wouldn't, my mom would make fun of me and not come let me empty my can, and that she would make me whole pee for hours and hours and hours and hours. No, don't wonder I got a bad left kidney. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Ron. Thanks, Dan Gowen. Thanks, Charles Wright. Thank you all, Bible Baptist Church. But, you know, you should have killed me. You really should have killed me on that mountain. Because what you did was you made me impeccably strong. And now, justice has a way of showing up when you least expect it. I raised my children. And my kids, I don't care if they hate me one day or not, they'll know. I never even thought of doing stuff like that to them. So, I have a question. Daniel Gowen, do you make your daughter and your son go outside, and do you allow people to use them and make them pick up feces off the ground? Do you let them be starved of water? Do you let them go to that closet where they have to be locked in and they reach down because they're so thirsty that they drink that curdled milk? And my brother, he was scared. He's running me up to my room. I'm like, please. And when I was down there, he had to pump water to wash me off. And I'm literally drinking water out of my hands because I couldn't wait to wash my hands off, to get, make sure you get clean water, before you start drinking it. Because they were over there yelling at my brother that I wasn't allowed to have anything to drink and I wasn't allowed to have anything to eat and to put me in that room and lock that door. And thank God, Stephen went over there and got that bottle, y'all. And he ran down them steps. And the whole time I'm whispering, hurry, Stephen, hurry. And he's running. Like, you want to screw a kid up? I dare somebody try to say something about one of my... I could be mad at my brothers and they could be mad at me and talk crap, whatever. We do know certain things. And let me tell you something. That little boy that day ran his ass off. He ran down those stairs. I'll never forget it. He ran out that door. And he put the cup on the ground and he was trying to fill it up with water. And he was trying to clean it. And they were coming towards the house, Ron and Dan. So he picks it up, runs it upstairs to me. And I was so happy. And I'll never forget when I got through drinking, I looked at the glass bottle. And it had like feces all over in it. It was the best water of my life. It was really the best water of my life. And I know that's probably making y'all freaking hate me and think I'm disgusting. You probably think I shouldn't even be like alive or allowed to be out here or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm just disgustingly, horribly terrible for what happened. But I didn't even get a choice. I didn't get an option. I promise I didn't. And I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that I have to tell you this stuff, because I know I don't want to die and nobody remember 100 years from now who Cherie was. And I don't want to die and get through life and know that y'all never knew that somebody could actually live through that. I did. I lived through that. I'm standing here today. See, look at me. I know I'm not like the greatest like photographical person right now, but you know, like I lived, and I struggle every day to overcome so much. But I want you guys to know that there's like people that live through some really bad stuff. And I'm gonna stop this and pause this. I'm gonna do a part 3. Hold on.